Okay, we're going to do another one-handed review. This is my Space Gat. It's the Walther SP22. It's a 22 long rifle, pistol, target pistol. This one started off as an M1, which is actually a 4-inch version of it, and then got the 6-inch conversion. Comes with 2 magazines, single stack obviously, and a toolkit. Because this doesn't come apart like a normal gun, and we'll show you that here a little bit. And it also doesn't rack like a normal gun. There's really nothing normal about this thing. And we're going to shoot it and talk about some other stuff. So this one, you see it has this tab here, and this slide does not reciprocate at all. It slides back using these little tabs. It's hard to do one-handed, but you can see that moves the bolt. The bolt is actually inside of the aluminum housing here. And you'll see, wait, you see this is a Walther. It says Smith & Wesson. I'm assuming Smith & Wesson was the importer, because I know during the time when these were being made and sold that they also made the Walther PPKS. And those are actually think were made by Smith & Wesson. Just stamped with a Walther stamp, but these are actually made in Germany, and it says so right there, made in Germany. So this is actually made by Walther. It's not like the P22, which is, I think, Umarex makes it, and I think there have been problems with it. This one, until today, I've never had a problem with, and we'll show you that in the shooting. But I think it's probably not the gun's fault, it's more what I did. And what I did was add this. So inside this, underneath this here, and I'll take it apart and show you, the barrel is threaded inside, and it takes a 0.7 or M8 by 0.75 millimeter thread adapter, and then so you can put a suppressor or a brake or whatever you want on the end of this. The normal one is actually in this bag, and it just looks like that. And it's the same diameter as the barrel shroud. And the way this thing goes together is weird, but to get this off, to get inside and clean it, there is a hex bolt here that's at the end of the guide rod, and that holds this metal plate in. And you take these 2 tabs off. This slides off, and then you can get into the insides and take the bolt out. And the slide and whatnot. Normally you can just do that, but with this thread adapter on here you cannot, because it is wider than the opening. And this was just an experiment by me, because I want to try a suppressor, and it did work sort of, and I'll go in at the end of the video on why I think it didn't work the best. But yeah, so I'll take it apart, kind of show you some things. Not going to do it on camera because, you know, rules and stuff, but I'll take it apart and show you what it looks like inside. Okay, so using the supplied tools, I took the end cap off, that little guide rod nut, and this should just slide right off, exposing the guts. So, what was my problem? Well, this fits in, there's a little groove on this end of it where it gets into here, so it seats, and then this screws at the end of it and seats inside of that sleeve, and inside of that sleeve is the, well, you can't really see it, but is the actual barrel. And I think this wasn't in its groove, which caused my problems. But anyway, we'll explain it afterwards. So yeah, taking it down, then you can just lift this bolt up and out and get to cleaning it. Pretty straightforward, not too difficult. The rear sight is fixed on there. I've never taken that off. It's kind of difficult. You gotta take a bunch of other stuff out. You can take this grip apart and get into the other stuff, but I usually just spray it down in there. You can see there's a hammer, internal hammer. It's the back of the firing pin there. that's pretty much it. We'll put it back together and I'll show you some of the shooting video and we'll talk about my conclusions with the suppressor. All right, we got it back together. You can see that it's empty, locked back, and it does do last round bolt hold open. Like I said, it's got these target sights on here that are kind of part of the back plate. It does have a loaded chamber indicator there, or that the, yeah. Fixed blade, it is adjustable. And on the front, it's weird. It's got this triangle. So we got it set to the narrowest, but you can set it to wider if you want. I'm not exactly sure. You can turn it for, I guess, a more complete or incomplete side picture based on distance, I guess. I don't know. And again, you work the slide by these tabs here. As far as I can tell, it doesn't matter which side. They're shaped funny, but this side can be interchanged with that side depending on how you want to look. I don't know. I've had them both ways. Probably both ways in this video if you look hard enough. Normally they say SP22 and then the model afterwards. So this is actually, it was an M1, now it's an M2 because I got the longer slide and housing for it and barrel. Yeah, the trigger's kind of meh. It's long pull, kind of spongy brake, and then goes resets all the way back out. I'm not going to do that again. I'm one-handed. And the only thing I really did to alter this gun, besides putting the longer barrel on it, is to add that piece. And it does fit, and like I said, you just got to make sure that that barrel shroud is properly seated. Otherwise, you can see where the chamber is there, that can walk. So this has to be firmly seated in the end of that barrel, whether you're using this one or you're using the nut supplied with it, holding that barrel shroud in place in its notch, or that can walk back and it's not seated. So after shooting it, and you'll see in the footage here, some of that where they're just having failures to feed and failures to eject and that kind of stuff. I think it was because that when I got it back in, I noticed that was wobbling around. So the whole point of this was trying to also this has got a heel mag release, European, very European, and well, I just wanted to whole point was to put that on, try it, so I could try it with suppressor. Because I've noticed on here, there are a few videos on this gun in particular, but there are no videos of it suppressed that I could find. So we'll go to shooting video next. I'm out there with my son. Not the best cameraman, nor am I, so it is what it is. But you'll see some of the failures and stuff.
They hit the red dot?
Well, I have a problem.
They hit the red dot?
Hold on. Strip.
What? They hit the red dot?
Yep. I don't like that ammo. Just keep filming.
Bryson, you're shaking the cameraman.
Where's our icons?
Bryson, quit.
Where are the icons?
That was better. Okay, you can
I feel like the bullet, hit the target with the wind, like.
Oh, yeah, it does. I don't know what I'm hitting. You're aiming low, it looks like. Low. Oh. Low. Low. Low.
I'm not having much luck.
Oh, hold on.
Are you just looking straight down the thing, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
You hit one of them. There you go.
Aim for a bigger target here.
There you go. Oh, rack it and see what it did. Right. Your outer. Yeah.
Empty, didn't lock back on that one. Switch out mags. It's almost not enough to power the slide go back. Almost. All right. Cool.
So I got it apart again, and I just wanted to kind of troubleshoot why we were having so many issues with failures to feed. And I think it comes down to this adapter that I got for putting a suppressor on. This was an eBay thing. When it's screwed on with the regular barrel nut, it's flush fit, and more importantly, this barrel sleeve locks into place with this barrel nut holding it tight against the chamber here, or the receiver block, and then this barrel kind of just floats in and out of there. It's not really attached. So with the barrel nut off, this just slides off. It's just a sleeve that protects the actual barrel. But when that's not on there tight, let's see if I can do this one-handed. The barrel, you know, it's not going to do it now, but can come loose and slide back here, because there's the only thing holding this in is just kind of friction. But there it goes, see? So I think what happened was, and the reason that made me think this is when I started to take it apart, this was loose. So in order to put this all back together, sorry, my camera work sucks. You put the sleeve on, and it's got this little notch in it. I don't know if you can see it, but that little notch right there, and it fits into a spot. In there, and it locks in. And then you put the barrel nut on before you put the slide and the bolt and all that other stuff back in. Well, you can't do that with this adapter because it's got this lip on it and it's too big. So you have to put it all back together and then put this together on it. It does fit it, it is the right length, but I don't think I got it all the way on to where this could all lock up, and so this was loose, and so that was giving me some failures to feed and failures to fire, and the couple that you saw in the videos where I was shooting. So I'll have to think of something a workaround for that if I want to use a suppressed. They did make an adapter apparently, but this gun is no longer in production, hasn't been for a while. So, you know, there's no Walther one for me to get for this one. This is a M8 by 0.75 thread adapter to a 1/2 by 28. So, so anyway, I'm glad nothing catastrophic happened. Didn't blast a baffle or anything like that, just failures to feed and eject and sometimes fire.